Hi you guys, welcome back to my channel. Today is part 3 of the Project Use It Up Food Edition, which means we are going to be focusing on my kitchen pantry today. If you're just joining this for the first time, what I'm basically doing is going through all of the areas in my house that have food in them. If there's anything that is close to expiring, I'm pulling that out so that I know that it needs used up quickly. If there's anything that I want to rotate around, I'm doing the same thing. So basically this is just kind of cleaning out cabinets and making sure that everything gets used before expiration. That way I'm not having to waste anything, throw things away. And then by doing this also, it's making some room for the upcoming holidays because there will probably be quite a bit of food coming into the house. So before we actually get started on cleaning out the pantry, let me come over here and kind of update you on where we are at so far. So in part 1, we did clean out the refrigerator, and this is the list of everything that needs used up. In part 2, I updated you and let you know that I did finish up the cranberry juice and the bagel for breakfast. And also the pepperoni that was packed from my husband's lunch. Off of the fridge list, I actually did finish up one of the tubes of biscuits this morning for breakfast, so I just have one more tube of biscuits to finish, and then that'll be completely gone. And then also the ham. We used some of the ham for breakfast, and then I'm actually, as you can see right here, I'm actually for dinner today doing a smoked sausage, green bean and potato casserole type thing in the crock pot. And what I did is, between the layers of potatoes and green beans and smoked sausage, I also layered in some ham. So that ham is gone now. That is completely finished up. Now in part 2, we talked about the kitchen freezer, the upstairs freezer, and this is the list of everything that needed finished up in that. And as you can see, I already have the blackberry cobbler coffee gone. That was finished up this morning. I had a small package of sausage links. There were only 5 in there. That was also finished up this morning for breakfast with the ham and the biscuits. The Rhodes dinner rolls, actually I will show you. They are rising on my stovetop as we speak. So those are officially gone. My oldest son finished up the banana pudding ice cream last night, so that is also gone. So that's where I'm at with that one. Now let's go ahead and start on the kitchen pantry. So I've got my small notebook so I can do my little chicken scratch. Messy handwriting, as you guys know though, after I do this, then I will copy it into the nice notebook so that I have a good list. So let's get started. Okay, this top shelf should be pretty decent. Yeah, I actually don't have anything up here except for some like plastic stuff, and I use those basically when I pack leftovers for my husband to put in his lunch and stuff like that. So that's what those are for. The next shelf is all like breading, but this is all stuff that I plan on using this week for dinners, so that I'm not worried about either. Now this next shelf, this is a different one. So I'm going to go ahead and start here with unloading stuff to the counter, and we'll see what we have. Okay, so this very top shelf, in this basket I had some granola bars and some like little snack things. I emptied it out, obviously. So I'm going to leave the basket in there because I do like having that in there to house different things like the snacks, the pre-portioned stuff. So that's gonna stay in there. And then on the very, like this next shelf, the only thing in the back is some popcorn and some peanuts, which those I'm also gonna leave in because those I'm not worried about being used up. The stuff that does need used up are right here. So I have these, let's see, 5 packs of these minis cookies, which honestly those should go pretty fast if I just pay attention to, the fact that I need to use them. I can pack those in my husband's lunch. The boys can have those as like a little snack after dinner, something like that. Same thing with the granola cup cookies. Those should probably go pretty quickly. These spice cookies, same thing. There's only about half a bag left, so it really shouldn't take too long to finish those up. There's one single granola bar, so that I will pack with my husband for his lunch, or it's really good if you crumble those up and then put it over yogurt. So once that one is gone though, I will be restocking on those because those are really, really good. This box of graham crackers, it only had the one package, so I'm actually going to throw the box away. The actual graham crackers, I have a recipe for these jumbo s'mores muffins, and they take graham cracker crumbs. So I'll either use those for that, or graham crackers are really, really good if you smear some peanut butter on them and have them for a snack. So either way, that's what I'll be doing with those. These two muffin mixes, honestly, again, that should go very, very quickly. They only make 6, each mix only makes 6 muffins, which is perfect size to go with like coffee or tea for an afternoon snack. So honestly, those should go pretty quickly. There's literally only 2 cookies left in this maple leaf box. So those, again, will probably be done, I'm guessing, by after dinner tonight. And then I have these Fig Newton bars. Again, it's pretty self-explanatory. It just needs to be used up. I mean, there's really no fancy way of, mixing it in with anything. It just needs to be finished. So what I'm actually going to do, the graham crackers I'm going to put away. The muffin mixes I'm going to put away. The rest of this stuff I'm actually going to put in a basket and leave it on the counter so that people see it and know it needs to be used up. So I did make my list here of all the items on those shelves that need used up. And now we will move on to the next shelf. Okay, so this is what this clean shelf looks like with just the graham crackers on it. That's that shelf. I just put the muffin mixes on that. And next we're dealing with this down here part, which always seems to get a mess. I really don't like the design of this cabinet because this is such a deep area. Everything always gets so screwed up down here. So I'm going to clean this part out and we'll see what we have down here. Okay, so this is what it looks like. The only things that I left in there was a container of the quick 1-minute oats, and then I have 2 boxes of all-purpose baking mixes. One of them is opened, the other one is completely unopened, but those I figured would stay in there. Let me show you what I pulled out. First thing are these fruity dino bites. It's almost gone. There's literally like this much left. Like, it's not much at all. So those will be finished up for a breakfast, I'm sure. I do think I want to find a different method for storing those, though. I hate that huge bag. So that is something I need to work on. This is a prime example of why I need to do this more often. So I have 2 things of pretzels. One of them is the pretzel sticks, and there's literally probably not even 1 whole serving. And then there's another bag that's already opened, and it's about half gone. So 2 open bags of pretzels. I don't understand why, but those obviously need finished up. Back here I do have these cheddar and sour cream potato chips. Those actually will probably go really, really well with the pulled pork sandwiches that I would like to do. That will also use up the hamburger buns, and it will also use up the barbecue sauce that I'm trying to use up. So those will go with that. I have this trail mix, which is really, really good. I just kind of forgot that it was down there, so I'm sure that won't take too long to finish up. This is actually really good too. I actually have 1 whole tortilla chips and then 1 that's opened with some in there. I didn't know those were down there either, and that would actually go really, really well with the tacos that I'm hoping to do that would use up the sour cream and the shredded cheddar cheese and all that stuff. So when I do tacos, I will pull those out to go with it. And then here's another prime example. I have this cracked pepper and olive oil. These are like the Triscuit crackers. That one is opened. But then I have 2 unopened of the original, which I don't know why I would have 2 of them. So obviously I didn't know that I had 1 unopened one, and then I bought a second one. So with those, honestly, we have some of those sliced cheeses in the refrigerator, like the Swiss, the cheddar, and the mozzarella. That would go really, really well with this. Or I could pick up a container of hummus, and hummus goes really, really well with these crackers too. So if I do either of those things, I think those will be finished up pretty quickly too. So that's where my list is at right now. The dino bites for breakfast, the pretzels, and the trail mix obviously are just kind of for snacking. Chips, those will go with the pulled pork. The tortilla chips will go with taco, and then the crackers will go with either cheese or hummus. So let's see. I think what I'll do is the small bag of pretzels. I'm gonna pull out and just put into like a snack size Ziploc bag and leave it on the counter with like all those cookies and things so that it gets finished quickly. The rest of the stuff I will put back in. So that's what it ended up looking like. I ended up stacking the all-purpose baking mix on top of each other. Obviously the one that's opened is on top. Same thing with the original flavored of the Triscuit crackers. I stacked them on top of each other, and then the rest of the stuff just kind of fit in there. So this side is done. Next we're gonna work on this side. So I'm gonna start by clearing off the top shelf. Okay, so I went through and kind of straightened up each shelf, and I'll show you everything that's on there. This very back thing, this is a Pop It Top It candy coated peppermint flavored popcorn kit. That was actually for my friend Kim, and I'm purposely saving that for closer to the holidays, so I'm not worried about trying to use that up right now. In fact, quite the opposite. I don't want to use it until like Christmas comes around. And then I just have a lot of my baking stuff here, so I have a huge baking powder, salt, baking soda, vanilla, I have some Jellos, some pudding and stuff like that. So everything on that shelf is okay now. The next shelf, again, is a lot of my standard things that I, keep purposely. So I have plain and Italian style breadcrumbs. I have some pecans for baking, some walnuts for baking. I have 2 full bags of brown sugar and then a partial bag. And then I have raisins and prunes. Usually those we'll throw in cereal or just grab a handful as like a snack. So those are totally fine. In fact, the raisins aren't even opened yet. So, and then the next shelf again is more baking stuff. In the very, very back, I have molasses. I have corn syrup. What is this? Cornstarch, coconut oil, shortening. I have my spirulina and my chlorella and my matcha. Those are all for smoothies. Well, the matcha is for like green tea lattes and stuff like that. Peanut butter, which is a standard thing, so obviously that doesn't have to be used up right away because we go through that actually pretty regularly. And then a whole thing of honey. And then the shelf underneath that, this is where I keep my kind of like stock of flour and sugar. As you can see, there is no sugar down here. There is one of the 5-pound bags of all-purpose flour, and then I do have a whole wheat flour. And then I just have my standard olive oils, vegetable oils, cooking spray, sesame oil, and then some pancake syrup. Again, all of those things I'm not worried about using up because we actually go through them quite regularly. So let me show you what I have pulled out. So I did pull out one of the sugars and I did pull out one of the flours. The reason I did that is because I wanted space in the cabinet so that next time I do go to the store and stock up, I have room to put like some stuff for my stockpile. So these 2 bags I'm actually going to, let me show you. I'm going to refill my 2 jars because as you can see, this one here is the flour, it's down some, and this is the sugar and it's down some. So if I refill both of those, they should be full, plus that clears out some room in my pantry. Next I have this Nutella. It's not even half full, so it's almost empty. And then I also have this Jif maple peanut butter, which again, it's probably only a quarter full. This honey, as you can see, does not have much in it. I have this bottle of distilled white vinegar. It is completely empty. I have a huge gallon-sized jug of the distilled white vinegar under my sink in the kitchen, so all I really need to do with that is refill it. I like to keep it in a smaller jar so it's easier to manage, but it's much cheaper to actually get it in the gallon size. And then the last 2 things are the bee pollen and this Live Fit superfood blend. So I wrote it all down. The sugar and flour, I'm going to restock the jars. The bee pollen is really good if you sprinkle it on yogurt. The Live Fit, I will put in a smoothie. The Nutella actually goes really, really well with pretzels. And since I need to finish up some pretzels, that's probably how I'll use those. The peanut butter, I'm figuring would be really, really good on whole wheat toast for breakfast. The honey, honestly, if I make like probably 2 pots of tea, that would completely finish that up. So I'll use that in tea, and then the vinegar I just need to refill. So the Nutella and the peanut butter and the honey, I think I will actually keep out of the cupboard. I'll put that over in the basket with all the other stuff, along with the bee pollen and the Live Fit superfood. Those I won't put back in. I'll refill the jars with that, and then I will refill the vinegar and put it back in the cabinet. Okay, so the 2 jars are restocked, and over here I did refill the vinegar, and it's just going to go on that shelf right there. So the last part that we have to do is underneath here, and this is a lot of things like crackers, well, not all the crackers, but like the saltine crackers and the oyster crackers, and then also pasta. So the majority of this should be okay, but let me go through and see what we need to weed out. Okay, so first let me show you what I'm going to be leaving in. This saltine cracker in the very, very back here, that's not even opened yet, so I am going to leave that in there. And then I also have 2 bags of oyster crackers, which neither of those are open, so those are fine. I have this box of whole wheat penne that is completely unopened, so it's fine. Then I have this regular penne, it is also unopened. And then also this box of spaghetti, which is also unopened. Over here, I do have this box of saltines, which is open. So obviously that one needs to be used up before the other one is open. Then I have this box of penne, and it's literally like not even a whole serving. So I'll probably mix that in with, when I do the spaghetti and stuff next week, I'll probably mix that in, because honestly, I don't really care if all the pasta shapes match. And then I also have about half a bag of these wide egg noodles. So if you come over here, I have the saltines written in the penne. The egg noodles, I will probably do a beef stroganoff casserole. So that'll be nice, because then I won't have to buy egg noodles. So that's what I'm going to do with these. So I'm going to go ahead, and these I will put back in. I just will put them, like the saltines that are opened, I'll put that in front of the box of unopened. The penne, same thing. I'll put that box in front of the penne that isn't open, and then the egg noodles I'll just put right up in front so I know to use those. Okay, everything is put back, so that's what that looks like. I'm going to go ahead and close this up. So we are finished with part 3. This is the stuff I'm going to kind of keep out and try and work through. So hopefully I can get through this stuff pretty quickly. I think I will be able to. So anyway, let me know if you guys enjoy these kinds of videos. Let's see, part 4, I will film that next week, like early next week. So obviously I'll have the entire weekend to work on these types of things too. So hopefully when I see you guys for part 4, I have a lot more of the things checked off my list that have been finished. For part 4, we're going to work on my upstairs pantry, which I'll give you a peek in there as far as what it looks like. Okay, let me turn on the light. This is my upstairs pantry. As you can see, it's kind of a mess. So obviously there's a lot of canned things that I need to go through. I'm thinking obviously all the drink mixes and stuff are going to be fine, the teas and stuff like that. I do have these drawers too though that have like different kinds of mixes and stuff, and then down here like ramen noodles, and then I have like some bags of potatoes and stuff. So that's what we're going to tackle next. So I will see you guys in part 4.